Russian. That's Russian.
Warning. The following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, if you are, I don't know if you are, but if you are, then just welcome to my channel. Okay, so what are we doing today? I bet you already know because it's definitely in the title of the video, but for the both of us, it's gonna be all about the new show on Netflix, and that is Shadow and Bone. Disclaimer, I have binge watched it in not the first day that it appeared, but I think in the second one. So I definitely know what's gonna happen, but both of us beautiful people who enjoy watching shows, who enjoy storytelling, both of us are going to watch it and see precisely those things that they have done, the tools, the techniques, basically everything. Ow. That hurt. It's a very, very good show. I really want to stress that. So let's put on the headphones. I bet my ears are going to hurt after this. And let's do this. A Netflix original series, Shadow and Bone. Yeah, that sound, it's phenomenal. It's epic. It's everything. I really like that show, but that sound, not that show. I mean, I like this show, but the sound is great.
When I was young, I was afraid of the dark. When I got older, I learned that darkness is a place, and it's full of monsters.
Yeah, it can be for some people.
I live in East Ravka, but I've never been welcome here. Because I look like my mother, and she looked like the enemy.
Good sound design. The score is that music that it's playing, that it's not copyrighted and it's not someone singing it. It's basically like sounds combined. And sound design is the actors' voices compared to everything else that's happening around them. So it's like Foley sounds, all of those things. All of that is great. All of that is great, not just in one episode, but it's great in the whole show. They've established that one, it's a new world, we don't know what's really happening so far. Two, it's a world that has monsters and something related to darkness, which is a place. Three, we get the protagonist. And four, we actually get a little bit into her backstory and into her mind.
The fold ate your parents.
So we get the fall, now we get introduced to that big, giant blob of darkness.
People trying to cross, taunting the saints.
And the religion part,
it?
they call saints, they don't have gods, they have saints.
The north want our Grisha dead. The south guards its mountains. We have nowhere else to go. Keep a pencil in your hand, or else someone will put a rifle in it instead.
Her job as a cartographer is going to help with the story because you have to see maps of this world, and it's going to help you as a viewer who doesn't know basically anything about it, like myself, not knowing anything from the books, understanding the grand scheme of things and the way that they are governed. When Alina asked why people are going into the fold instead of going around the fold, that was a good question. And not only is it a good question because, well, she's a child, she's learning things, kids ask a lot of questions. That's a good opportunity for you to add more exposition, one. And two, which is my second point, that question might be a question that a lot of people watching it are going to ask. It's very incredible what they're doing right now. Analyzing it, I'm even more amazed because they're doing quite a lot in a few minutes. That's being economical, and that's being compact, and that's being still good at telling a good story. Because you could have done anything with it, right?
We are never going to see it go away. This abomination is here forever.
You don't go to church. Saint who can summon the sun will destroy it.
I'm sure this is not going to have anything to do with the rest of the story.
Mal, He isn't afraid of anything.
She knows him.
You'd be surprised.
Another good thing that they have throughout the show is the use of effects. In this case, visual effects for the Fold. Something else is the way they introduce new things. So the way they introduce the Fold. It's how they amped up through dialogue, through the way the characters reacted to it. This builds up. It's like Lego blocks. Just pile up on those blocks and then you get that tension and you get that, oh, this is bad, oh, this is bad. Everything is bad about the Fold, and that's exactly how you're supposed to feel because it's supposed to be very bad. I mean, so many people die in there. It's like amping up a character. We're seeing Mao. We have two contrasts, the way he really is and the way he's perceived by other people. You have the two facets, the internal and external personas combined before you actually get to see the character. And even now, we're actually seeing him as a boy. And he has a cute bunny, and it's like, it's innocent. The bunny is innocent, but he's even more innocent because he's like cocooning the bunny, and he's hiding behind Alina. We have two things. We have Alina, who's taking charge, and we have Mao, who's like, he's running right now.
on my rug?
And Oratev, that's Russian.
Can't hide forever.
Yes, I can.
Can I just say that all actors are phenomenal? And it's so beautifully shot. That's another thing that I love about the show, is the way it transitions to. So when it's a shot, everything counts. Because you have to take decisions on all aspects. They really had fun with it.
Come on! Anyone!
Is that Milo? So many people are gushing over a character and it's not a human character. It's a freaking goat. That's precisely how you don't take yourself too seriously, but you're still doing a good job. Because having a goat take the spotlight and make the goat a hero, that's funny, that's weird, but that's awesome. It's the same with transitions. The idea is you have to experiment. Some people have accents in the show, which is another fantastic thing, that they add so much flavor to this world. You have accents, you have different racial backgrounds for actors and like characters. It's so diverse and it's so all-rounded that it mimics the reality of our world, because the world we live in, it's not just like one big chunk of the same thing. Let me gush over it some more. People need to know that everyone who was involved in this project, they have done so much work, but I bet you they had so much fun with it. This is the best kind of adaptation you can hope for, and it's exactly what people have in mind, like the ideal adaptation.
So we're back together.
They can't keep best friends apart for too long.
I did not expect it to be so gloomy and gritty. It has so many dark, muted colors like browns, grays, and not a lot of saturation in the vibrancy of the colors. So it's very muted. Everything from light sources is like very naturalistic. You don't have light in the shot if there's no light source in it.
Supply run across the fold. Sergeant Yuri Teplov.
That's Russian.
Tracker Malyen Oretsev.
Oh no. Oh shit.
You're our unit.
Rifleman Valek Tapenyo.
Has to be an error, has to be.
It's not.
Medic Knowledge Baranos.
The balance of tone. So we have nightmares, we have a lot of people getting hurt and all that, but if you were to have only that, you would get used to it. It's called the affect. You've seen so much of it that you're not bothered by it anymore, which is precisely what you don't want when you need people to care. So how you do that? You balance that with something that is quite the opposite. What's the opposite of horror? It's comedy. I'm just gonna wait and see one of my favorite characters of the show besides Milo, precisely because this character brings so much of those moments of comedy, and they're just so pure. And I can't say it's just the writing or everything in the story, but it's such a big deal coming from the actor. The actor is just amazing, and I love him. I've never seen him before, but I'm just going to like stalk him from now on because he's great. There he is. Oh.
The Lucky 9 casino up the block has had trouble with counterfeit coin lately. Heavy, but brittle.
Great shot. Fantastic. The insert.
Busted.
So much skill.
Hey, what?
He's great. I love him.
Get off me!
And now a new character. And the sound, the way we're seeing him.
No loud noises at the table, Jasper.
He's the boss.
Scare off the pigeons.
Sound. I just love every beat of score in this show. It's fantastic. And in the camera movements, again, so much detail, so much substance. Everything. Even the decor of the rooms is just perfect. Oh, and the sound. You know. Yeah, and now you see it, that someone was there and he knows. It's fantastic.
Hello, Inesh. What information do you have for me tonight?
Oh, you're beautiful. Slow-mo. But it's used tastefully. It's not overused. I hate when, like, slow-mo especially, it's like overused because again you get really
private security
sick of it at one point.
Anyone we know?
Oh, can you hear the sound? Can you hear the like pitter patter of rain?
He gambles at one of Pecker's clubs.
Not to mention that I love rain.
So I won't have
this is
leverage on
just perfect, and yet you can clearly hear both of their conversation. We don't know what's inside the fold. We've just heard that it's like a bad place and so many people don't come back. It's like, really, don't go in there.
Finding my parents. Still dead.
But we're going to go in the fold. We know it. But it's this tension that it's so good. And we love it. We love that bit of like tightness. Like you're tightening the tension until something has to snap. But the expectation of it snapping is exactly what's best with this like effect. Why it works so well.
I haven't been gambling in Japan.
Love interests. You have to love them.
Tell us how to safely cross.
So many good transitions. I love it.
If I knew safe passage through that, I'd be wealthier than the whole merchant council.
You told me you brought in guards from Mazalta. The other side.
Yeah, the hard way. Lost a few to those down Volcra, too.
Here's what I don't get.
We're gonna be here all night.
Rude. Why haven't they tried going under it? Just dig a tunnel.
Tried that more than a century ago. Something heard them.
Great.
So it was made hundreds of years ago by that crazy Grisha.
The Black Heretic.
Yeah, the one who controls Shadow, right? Well, they got one in their arm, don't they?
Oh,
Kirigan.
another great character reveal.
Make it.
Oh, again with the sound. I love the sound. I love the score. It's so great. I have to like listen to it. I bet there is one like on YouTube somewhere, like a 10-hour soundtrack.
It's a Grisha, not a miracle worker.
You must believe the new skiff will be a shining success.
Or a spectacular failure.
Taxi.
What? Sorry, Mark.
Crossed it 3 times that incident. We'll get your verse soon enough.
Cool. Badass. You get to like carve yourself up.
I'll be back before you know it.
That's manly.
And I'll be here the whole time.
Alexi.
Bien, though.
Oh. Oh, let me see it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh! The tilt up. It's such a cool move for this. Because you can actually see the scale of it. It's ginormous. And you're just like, you're so small compared to it. It's very daunting.
Why are you here if we're supposed to keep things dark?
But when the dark comes to keep you.
Okay, that was a little bit cheesy. I just have to say, it's not all good things. That was a cheesy one.
That's our cue.
And it doesn't really make sense if you really think about it. It's like, why would you say that right now? You're being cryptic for no reason. Oh, the sound! Oh, and look, there's Kirigan. Oh, what is this? What is this? This is fantastic. This is awesome. It's epic. Oh, again, we're like tilting up, but we're with her. We're with Alina. We're next to her, and now we're not. We're seeing it. We're on the ship, we're going into the fold, and we are slowly but surely expecting the worst, which is going to be the climax of this episode. We are going towards it. We are on the boat. We are slowly approaching it. The music is like crescendoing. It goes up, it goes up. It has different like elements of sound. So I don't know what that instrument was, but there's an instrument that's like high pitched and it's like amping it up. We are behind Alina. It's almost like we're Mao when they were kids. We are behind Alina. She is scared. We are scared with her. She's holding her breath. We're so close to it, and then we have an overhead. We are like not on the ship anymore. We are in air, we're like floating, and we see the ship slowly go into the fold. But for 1 second, we are not with them. We are just watching. Right before we were about to go into the fold, it's like that band was supposed to snap. When you were sure it was going to snap, it didn't, and another second passed. That second was pure tension. And now, you go from that scene, you go straight into the fold, into the darkness. You can barely see anything, and it's deadly quiet. So many sounds from the ship, from the space around the ship. It's so great. And the lightning, those strikes which illuminate the surrounding area, it's great because you can actually see
37.
we're a way to go. We don't know how big it is. We have a distance to take, and we need something concrete so we know how much we've traveled and how much we have until it's over. Those markers, they show us how much we've progressed on this journey. Oh, my ear hurts. I have piercings and they hurt. There are so many scenes in the show, not just this episode, but in the show, where things happen in the dark. And it's obvious because you have shadow in the title. You're going to have a lot of shadows. The thing with shadows is that they're only as effective as you have something to balance them. If you only have shadows and you have no light, 1, it's going to be very hard to see anything. 2, you're going to get very sick of it very fast. And 3, you might even get frustrated. Why am I mentioning this? It's because I was frustrated. And why? Because in some instances, they don't have light. They only have shadows, and it's so hard to see. Now, Right now I'm watching this on my laptop, right? But I've seen the entire show on a very big screen, and it was still hard to see. And it's not like they don't know how to shoot scenes at night, because they have a scene with Mao and his friends in the snow, and it's dark, and it's very much fairy tale like. It's beautiful, and you can see things. All of those things kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones. The last season, I forgot what episode it was. It might have been the 3rd episode or like the 4th. But when they had to deal with the dead men, and it was so dark, you could not, it was an hour of darkness, just very few lights in shots, and it was so hard to see what was going on that it was insane. I was sick of it. What the fuck? I hate to say it, but there are some scenes in this show that do that same thing when there's not enough light, and I hate it. Because everything else is so beautiful. Why would you hide that in shadows? So, unfortunately for you and unfortunately for me, since my camera is turned around and I can't really see when it stops recording, I haven't seen the fact that it stopped recording. Luckily for me, I am recording my voice on a different device, so I am going to use that for the final half an hour of this commentary. Yay! You dumb. That's what are you doing? Oh. This is what I'm talking about. This is so good. So good. And so fast, we are in it. Everything is online. Everything bad that could have happened is happening right now, and I love it. Yeah. Oh my god, I love that shot. I love everything about how they're moving and how they're interacting. And the creatures too. They're so great. Wow. But the creatures, their design is fantastic. The sound to them, the way they look. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. And it's the second time. Even on my first viewing, I got goosebumps.
Hey! One of these has a hole in it.
Saints.
I forgot about it. Great payoff. And I love Jesper. He's amazing. I love him so much.
You won't believe me, but it was a sun summer now.
Those scenes in the fold actually work because all of a sudden we were able to see the land in the fold so clearly, and we saw all of those Volcras like swarming around. It was fantastic. It's like you can finally see how bad their situation was.
Her name is
His voice almost cracked.
Alina Starkov. Let me free now.
Thank you. Of course.
It is sad. I love the score. It's so effective, it's so beautiful. And it happened like that. It was great timing.
We are now the only people west of the fold with this information.
Give me a day. I'll have a plan.
You have until sunrise. Then your ship will have sailed, Mr. Brennan.
Quite literally.
The prize is 1 million Kruger.
Right now it's not just an idiom or saying, it's like, it's quite literally a ship that has to sail. Oh, let's not forget that right now there is a website for this show, and you can actually go on this website and you can actually find out what kind of Grisha you are and what kind of job you would have. And we're done. If you've stuck to the end of this video, you are a champ. Good for you. You get a gold star, you get everything that you want. I'm still hungry. I'm so hungry. I've been hungry even before finishing the video, and I'm still hungry right now, and I want to eat, and it happens every time that I film, every time that I just like, I'm mentally prepared to film, my stomach is like growling because it needs to eat. It's like, yeah, it's like a little monster that lives inside of me, which is great because I love monsters so much. So yeah, there's that. Okay, off with the tangent. If you've liked this video, do what you want with it. Leave a like, leave a comment. I love reading comments and I love seeing how a video does, because it helps me understand what I'm doing, because it's one to edit and it's one to film, and it's another thing entirely to have people who don't know the behind the scenes of all of this seeing the video, the final product, and giving their honest opinion. If you like it, then stick around for more, because I do have more. I always have more, I just don't get around to actually edit. But yeah, so I'll see you when I see you. I'll see you next time in another video, I would assume. And until that next time comes, I'm done. I'm so done. Okay, so I'm actually going to go and eat. And you do what you want to do, okay? You're awesome. Continue to be awesome. Great, great. You get... oh my god. You get an... Did I already forget? I might have just forgotten it. No. Come back. Thought, come back. Come back to me. Be Jack and come back to me. But that's not right. He didn't come back. Oh my gosh, okay. Not talking about Jack and Rose and Titanic and how people died and it's like a tragic thing because it really happened. Not thinking about that. On a cheerful note, I kind of remembered what I wanted to say.